Good morning. Hope you have your coffee. This isn't going to be that long. I did want to just show you a couple things on Canva. So let's get started. First, if you can you comment #live so we know who's watching it live, and it will kind of push this video so more people can see the replay later. Good morning, Lupita. All right, let's start. Okay, so first we're going to Canva, and it's just canva.com. And today I'm going to show you how to make a animated post for your stories on Facebook. And for those of you that don't know what the stories are, good morning, Lisa. The stories are the ones that pop up here. And if you've ever tried to create a post to put up there in your story and you can't put a video up there from your desktop, it will not allow a video. So you do have to do it from your phone. So we'll explain how to do that in a little bit. So let's first create our post. In Canva, you can use a free version. If you go with the paid version, it's $12.99 a month. And once you start using this and seeing the value of this program, the $12.99 a month is no big deal because it is just such a good program. So in here, you have tons of option. Your YouTube channel art, Facebook post, I use all the time. Facebook cover, but we are looking for, I think there's a Facebook story. Facebook story down here. So you want to choose the right one because it's going to give you the right dimensions for when you make your post. Okay, over on the side over here, we have all of our options. So you have your templates. I almost never use those. They could be handy, but there's always a lot of editing to them. So I find it's much easier and quicker if I just make my own. We have our elements. The elements will be your favorite. These you can choose shapes. Shapes are always handy. And then there's tons of stuff in here for you, but if you don't see what you're looking for, so let's say I want a blue background. Type in blue. Now I have all my options. We have an animated one here. If we're looking for ones that are animated, you're going to click up here, which is videos. And if you put your mouse on the little icon, it will show you the movement in the video. So these are all a little creepy. Sorry, I have a second monitor in case you haven't figured that out, so I won't really be directly looking at this side. Okay, those are just strange. So let's do fireworks. Let's go with this. Oh, you know what? We don't even want that because that's not a really great shape. As you can tell, I did not pre-do any of this. I wanted to do this on the live with you guys. Let's forget about this firework one. So what we're going to do, I'm going to create a CTA post. For those of you that don't know, a CTA post is a call to action. So you are asking somebody to do something in the post. I have a list of CTAs. I'm just going to say, I'll just create my own. It's going to be very basic. And because I don't know how this post is going to go yet, I'm just going to kind of talk through it. I'm going to do all caps, and we're going to do free training on how to go from 0 to 10K in 90 days or less. #how. Okay, so that's our basic text. Now, one pro tip for you, good morning, Joanne, is that when you are using yourself as your brand, you always want to put your face out there. So the more somebody sees you, the more they're going to know and remember you and learn to trust you. But if you could see, almost every post, I'm including a picture of myself. And that's just kind of let people get to know you. And like I said, it reminds them, and you don't want them to forget. All right, so we have our free training on how to go from 0 to 10, oh, sorry, not $10, 10K in 90 days or less. Hashtag how. All right, so over on this side, we have uploads. You can put anything in here. So upload your media. And I already preloaded a bunch of pictures of myself. Getting pictures of yourself, if you guys have been online very long, I think it's extremely difficult to do. My phone has been filled with pictures of my son for the last 5 years and very few pictures of myself, especially not myself by myself, alone. All right, so let's just grab this picture. Oh no, let's grab one. I did some with let's grab this one where I sort of, let's not grab a picture of myself. I don't like any of them. Okay. Let's do pointing. Now, when I say we're making an animated video, it doesn't have to be a crazy elaborate video animation. It could be very simple, like moving arrows. So we could have those moving arrows. One of the more recent video ones that I had made with just a little bit of movement was this last one. So if you watch this, up at the top, you can play your videos. Just very simple. It just had this little part. So I'll play it again. Kind of just grabs attention, makes it stand out a little bit more. So we can really be as simple as these arrows. And you can move them. Make them a little more straight here. Okay. And it's very important aesthetically, when somebody's looking at this, you want to kind of take the time to make sure you did center it with these purple lines that pop up. So we have one going across, and then we have one that does, if you saw it, it goes up and down. Because of my arrows where I want them, I really only want the ones that are right to left, because I want those arrows to be centered in my page. Okay, still looks a little boring, but let's just put some color behind it. So up at the top, you want to click on your little picture here. So you highlight the whole frame. And then up at the top, you can click color. And if you don't like any of those colors, I'm going to show you something really cool. You can choose from the color slide up here. But let's say we are on Facebook. And let me just see. Let's say we love the color of this blue sky. So what we can do, this is a Chrome extension. So the Chrome extensions go up here if you saw me using this tool already. So we're going for this. Chrome extensions are at the top of your, I can't even highlight with it, but they're at the top of the screen. They usually fall into this little puzzle piece. If you can see, I have, quite a few up here right now, but there's something called Colorzilla. And Colorzilla is the coolest thing ever. So click on Colorzilla. Now it's going to allow you to click on any color. So I want part of this blue sky. So I'm going to go to the darkest part of that blue sky. It grabbed gray. I'm going to try it again. We'll grab this guy's hat here. So we want this blue hat. So now it copied it. Go into Canva up here. You are going to just hit Control V, or you probably do a right click copy or paste. Sorry, paste. And now that color is here. It won't stay there. It's not going to be there for your next post. It's not added to your color wheel. You will always have to go in to find it when you want that color, but it's not even a color we really want. Okay, so let's change the color of our text now. The color of your text, you can change it up here. I'm just going to try white. White stands out. That's fine. And now let's animate our text. So keep this box highlighted. And up at the top, we have animate. So cool. Okay, so if you just, again, hold your mouse on top of whatever you want to animate, it shows you how it looks. That one's actually really cool. That one's not bad. So as you can see, you can play with all of them. That was one that I think I used in the example I just showed you with that wowza. So I like this one. I think that one's cool. It kind of makes people read it as they're looking at it. I hate the arrows. Let me see if I could change those. Let's go back to, hang on, we can't change the arrows. If we can't change the arrows, we can either make our own arrows, which I can show you that. Let's just do that. In lines and shapes over here, we can, that is not an arrow. Oh, you know what? Here's a really good thing to point out. If you put something on there, you don't like it, you can easily hit delete. But when it's a little line like this, sometimes it's hard to actually highlight to be able to kind of like hit that delete button. So up at the top, right, what the heck? Hang on. At the top right here is the back arrow. So that will erase anything you were doing. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let's do arrow. Let's look for some arrows. And let's say we want a red arrow. So I'm doing an arrow color red. It's going to give me a whole bunch of red arrows. Well, this one's kind of interesting. Let's move this back up to the top. And that is kind of cool. It's just I can't make it long enough. Yep, I love it. All right, now let's see if our whole thing has animation now. It does. All right, what do you guys think of that? I think we're going to go with this one. So now what I did say is that you cannot go in. So hang on, backtrack. Sorry, I backtrack a lot. But so now we're going to go ahead and make sure you title it whatever you want, because once you start using Canva a lot, you're going to have tons. I started doing this in the middle of November, and I think I have over 100 creations already. So just change it to whatever you want to say. And then you're going to hit download. It's going to download as a MP4 video. Great. We want the animation, so we want it to be a video. So it's going to download, and then we're going to go into Facebook, and I'm going to show you how it's not going to be able to, how you're not going to be able to use it on Facebook. But we'll get to how you can use it as soon as it's done downloading. You can use it as a post. You absolutely could put this as a post. So photo or video would be fine in this case. Let's see, did it download yet? Okay, it's not done yet. The videos do take longer. And I also want to point out that if you are creating something in here, and let's say I clicked on this picture of myself, and I put that in there, and then I didn't want it. If I were to just, up here, I can hit position. That was at the top. So I don't want that picture. I can move it to the background. So right now, let me click on the picture. The picture, go up to position, hit backwards. And now that picture is in the background where I can't see it. Why would I want to do that? Well, for this case, I wouldn't want to do that. But let's say I wanted this picture back here, but I still wanted the arrows to kind of like show up, sort of. So if I wanted some of, maybe just you have a color or something that you want to show behind, that's a really key tool to be able to move that stuff. But because your file is going to be large, especially for a video, yes, Loopy Die can share the name of the Chrome extensions. Okay, the one that I'm using the marker for, I actually just saw Daniel use last night, I think, in his live. I just Googled Chrome extension marker, and this is what came up. It's called Page Marker, Draw on Web. But if you're not seeing this little icon, I would put Google Chrome extension as you're typing in Google. The other one for that to grab the color is called Colorzilla. And that one's amazing. I learned about that one on TikTok. All right. So what I was saying is we want to just delete any files that or any pieces of this that you're not using. You should get rid of it because it makes your file size larger and it's going to take longer to download. So try to remember to get rid of stuff, especially if you have animated stuff. All right, let's go to Facebook. So as I said, you could put this in as your post. So it's going to allow you to put in a video. So I could post this here. I'm not going to because I don't want it to mess up my feed. I want to create it as a story. Yes, leave that. You can do a text story. You could do a photo story. That photo is not going to show up because it's not truly just a photo. It's a video. So you're not going to be able to see my phone. Oh, well, you might be able to, but it's probably not going to show up. On your phone, you can download Canva as an app, and you'll just log in. So if you already have the paid version on your computer, it will work on here. So we're going to go to the app. And again, I will try and see if you can see it. Can you give me a #1 if you're able to see any part of this or if it's just not showing you? So from the home screen on Canva, you can see all of your art that you already made. It's all on here. So mine is not showing me. The one over here, I'm trying to do it so you can see the picture, but the one over here is the one that I first gave you the example of with the wowza. The one next to it is coming up as a white screen, but I know it's my most recent design, so I'm going to click on that. And as you can see, that is my design. So from here, there is an up arrow. It's confusing. It's not a down arrow for download. And you can download it, or there's an option to just click and just add it right to your Facebook story. So we're going to add it to our Facebook story. And this is awesome because you can now make all these cool things on your computer. For me, it's way easier. I have a mouse. I can move around and grab things and, do stuff without doing this on my computer. And it just makes things so much easier to be able to go in there. So now this opened up Facebook. It's saying, do you want to share this to your story? And I'm going to share it to my story. And then it will be on my stories for Facebook. So I think that's super cool. Like I said, I use this all the time. Something else I can show you is they have something called effects up at the top. So we had burst. I think that's what burst is what we chose. But if we go to effects is different. This is going to change your text. So I can put a shadow behind it. Let's say I had it on top of my arrows, but it wasn't standing out on my arrows. So you can put a shadow behind there, and you can change the color of the shadow over on the side here. It could be whatever you want. You can tone down your shadow so it's not so harsh. Well, that's not even a shadow at all. So now it's a little bit lighter, and you can change the spread of it. You can do all kinds of things. You could change your text to be a little bit fatter. You can give it a shadow. There is an endless number of different things that one looks kind of cool that you can do with this. So another thing that you can do is, let's say I don't know why we wouldn't want this as bolded as it is. Here, let's put this down here. Let's say our colors are too bright. Here, we'll grab like a brighter color. And let's get rid of our effects. So go back to normal. Let's say that's just like too bright for whatever reason. On this side over here, you still have some tools to work with. So don't forget about just look at everything up here. But right here is transparency. We're at 100% transparency with our words. We can tone this down so it's not so like out there. Again, for this post, I definitely want that to be bold, and I almost like this green better, and I probably should have did my post with the green, but you play with that. It's just another little thing that you can do. You're welcome, Joanne. Thank you for the comment, and thank you guys for coming. If you have stories is huge. If you're new to stories, make stories your best friend because you can post multiple stories in a day. So this is my one from that I posted yesterday. It's still on there. I just noticed this. It has 13 hours. It's been on for 13 hours. So at 24 hours, that story is going to go away. So you always want to have something for people to be seeing you up there. So this is my next story. So even though I still have one that hasn't passed that 24-hour mark, it's still going to show up on there, and people are still going to see it. This is good to note up here. That time stamp that's going across is blocking out my free training. So maybe next time I would want it to lower those down a little bit. Other things on Canva, if you are on YouTube or thinking about starting YouTube, you can create your YouTube thumbnail on here. You can create Instagram story, put it on your story for Instagram, your YouTube channel art. I don't know how many people are into YouTube, but I'll show you really quick. Here's my channel art. I made this all on Canva. You can make so many things on here, and if you can't find what you're looking for by scrolling down, you can make your logo. I was working on that last night. So there's just an endless amount of possibilities. I used it for work. But yeah, so I don't really think I have anything else to show you on this, and I really appreciate you guys joining me for this live, and I hope you had some coffee. I'm going to have mine now, and if you don't have any questions, we'll go ahead and just let us get on with our Saturday morning.